Welcome to the first step in the path to proof. Discover desires and problems to solve. Learning how to discover people's core desires and problems changed my life. It changed Kirby's life, and it changed hundreds of other synthesizers' lives too. This module will teach you how to discover core desires and problems of people in your network and really anyone you come in contact with so that you can create customized free work, which we covered at the end of the last module, and change your life too. On the agenda today, we're going to cover desires, which is the gap between where you are and want to be, discovery, finding these core desires and problems, the CDP Discovery Flow Framework, so catchy, and then we'll end on an action item, getting you one step closer to synthesizer freedom. The first question we need to answer is, why do people buy? And they buy because there's a gap between where they are and where they want to be. And there's a gap between where you are and where you want to be. And everyone has these gaps of current situation and desired situation. Desires could be anything. Relationships, health, looks, wealth, business, time, productivity, mindset, happiness, organization, taxes, social media, audience, addictions. The list could go on forever. Desires range through everything. And they are different for everyone. Everyone on this earth has multiple desires. It is a chronic part of the human condition. And everyone has different levels of intensity to different desires. We want different things. We might want the same thing to different levels or different extents and different degrees. And the problem is that people sell things that people don't desire strongly. That is the core problem. And have you ever created content you think is really good, and then people just aren't that interested in it? I know I have. I create something really good. I spend a lot of time on it. I post it. I'm like, woo. And then it fails to perform. No one's really interested in it. No one clicks. Or created an offer that looks really, really strong on paper. You're like, wow, this is so good. But when you present it to people, no one seems to buy it. They're like, yeah, maybe. And they never get back to you. That's because oftentimes we're playing a game called guess and test. We try and target desires, and we spend thousands of dollars and years trying and failing. We guess what people want, we create some sort of solution to it, and we test it, we provide it, we try and share it, and then we realize, maybe people just aren't that interested in it, or maybe they are and we just didn't target it very well, or I don't know, it just doesn't work. And this leads to no attention, no case studies, and no sales, and no impact. See, you cannot create desire. You can only channel existing desire. Eugene Schwartz, Breakthrough Advertising, says, let's get to the heart of the matter. The power, the force, the overwhelming urge to own that makes advertising work comes from the market and not from the copy. Copy cannot create desire for a product. It can only take the hopes, dreams, fears, and desires that already exist in the hearts of millions of people and focus those already existing desires onto a particular product. This is the copywriter's task. This is the educational creator's task, not to create mass desire, but to channel and direct it. If you solve someone's core desire, they'll be very happy to pay you, even if the price is high. And that is when you make beautiful money. You see, beautiful money meets two criteria. It's a byproduct of following your life's work, and the giver of the money is happy he gave it. That is why we are here. We are not here just to make an income. We are here to change the world and make beautiful money. That is the purpose of the synthesizer. And you see, everyone's desires are different. Therefore, the best offer you can make is for one specific person who you know, for desires you know they have, to solve problems you know they face. And people talk about the rule of one and targeting specific people all the time. The one way you can make that even more specific is by creating something for one, literally one person. For Aidan LaBresh, for Andrew Kirby, for insert name here, not for a demographic, but for one person to solve their specific problem. And when you do that, you create a bespoke suit tailored to your exact measurements. Once you try it on, you don't want to wear anything else because it fits you perfectly. It was made for you. The tailor took your measurements and created this custom suit for you. You didn't pick the suit off the shelf that was a size medium, and really you're in between a size medium and a large, and your waist is a little smaller and your shoulders are a little broader, if you're curvy, and it just doesn't quite fit you. But the bespoke suit fits you perfectly because it was made for you. The lesson is, don't make one size fits all offers. You want to create an offer that only works for one person and doesn't fit anyone else. The problem with this is that finding that idea, of course, is the hardest part. It's hard to find what people want, and you have to be precise, not scattershot. You have to know your audience and know them well, or you risk missing your target completely. John from Great Leads. The solution is the best way to find and channel these desires is to talk to people and find out the specifics of their unique situations, problems, and dreams so you can give them exactly what they want. And the way you do that is through discovery flows. Don't waste time trying to guess how to find these things and spending hours and hours on conversations. No, you can do this in 15, 20, 30, maybe an hour on a quick call, in a conversation in the DMs, in person. You can do this quickly and efficiently and find what you need and use it to help instead of wasting a ton of time doing it. There are no shortcuts to this. You need to do the work and find desires you can target and solve. This starts by finding people to help, which is why we focused on networking and generating attention in the last module. And it starts before that by orienting yourself to the right path so you can come in contact with the right people to help. And now that is why we are here. And when I joined Synthesizer, I did over 50 plus discovery calls in 3 days to get to know this community's problems and desires better. This is a screenshot of my calendar, and I even fit in more people who reached out to me and DM'd me and tried to get a time when my calendar was maxed. So there's even more than this list on the right. And what I learned, Kirby and I used as the foundation for this course. That is how seriously we treat this. That is how important this is. So let's talk about discovery and how to find these core desires and problems. So Kirby has done over 3,000 calls in his online career. He's closed 90K deals, 300K deals, and landed his gig at school. Some of those things might seem incredible or crazy or impossible for us, but it all starts by just learning the art of calls. He says, mastering calls changed my life. It's worth getting great at them. Quote, Kirby, our fearless leader of Synthesizer. And if we look at this photo of him, even as a young kid, he was our fearless leader, holding this bottle of alcohol with a snake in it, completely fearless from a young age. Beautiful. And Alex Becker and Alex Hormozi had this Twitter exchange where they talked about getting on calls. About 40 to 80 hours working on calls is enough to make you good. This skill then shits money nonstop. Pardon my French. Lesson, get on calls. And that is why we are teaching you these 3 types of calls in sequential order. You start with networking calls to build that comfortability, to build that confidence on calls, to get people on calls, learn how to get people on calls, give them something you want, just build relationships. Now we're going to talk about discovery, which is the next step in the call evolution. And this logically leads to sales. If you can do discovery calls, you can do sales calls with ease. And the best part is these principles can be applied off platform as well. If you really don't like sales calls and calls, you can do it in the DMs, you can do it in person, you can do it wherever. The principles apply. But it is best and highest impact and highest leverage on the phone, on calls, on face-to-face with people. You see, discovery calls are sales calls without the selling. Not only will they help you find what you need to create that incredible offer, they will help you master the art of selling through helping. And the discovery pillars are simple. There's a current situation of where they are now, There's the desired situation of where the person wants to be, and there are problems they are facing that is holding them back from getting there. And if we apply this out to that diagram I showed earlier, problems are the thing holding people back from reaching their desired situation. It is that mountain in the middle that they really don't want to climb and they need help with. The discovery law is that every time you understand someone's current, desired, and have the ability to help them solve their problems, you do free work for that person. One thing I want to emphasize here is you have the ability to help. It's not enough to find a current situation, a desired situation, and problems. You need to have the specific ability to help. Otherwise, that whole process is rather useless. And when you know these three things, you make a free work offer. Before you can do a discovery call, though, we need to talk about how to book one and how to understand how to properly set the stage of a call so that the discovery call framework actually works. So we book calls through the networking C's. This is the principle. This is what we have been building towards. Everything is aligned. It's rather beautiful. You comment, you chat, and you get on calls. You've already practiced this in the last step. You've already started doing this. Now you just apply it to discovery calls. It is that simple. You comment with people on posts, you engage with content, you interact with people, you create little sparks. You then create a little mini fire when you start to chat with them and you start talking to them in the DMs, and then you spark it, you add fuel to the fire, and you get on a call with them to deepen that relationship. And that is the process. Reach out to people you're chatting with using this copy and paste message. That's how easy it is. Hey name, hey Kirby, I'm working on a new way to help people for free, and part of that is nailing my discovery process so I can find the best way to help. Would you be available for a quick call, date and time? It should be fun and valuable. Send your calendar link, Calendly, whatever else you need. Or if you want a pro tip, ask them to get on a call right away. If you're chatting with someone in the DMs, you're kind of chatting back and forth, say, hey, you free for a quick call right now? I'd love to chat more about this. Money loves speed. If you're faster, you will go farther. Some pre-call prep. Print, write out your discovery flow. We'll give you a printable cheat sheet you can use to make this incredibly easy. Keep a piece of paper and pen handy, preferably that discovery flow printed out. Ensure you are in a place free from distractions. That means not only you are undistracted, but your background is as undistracting as possible so that you aren't distracting the person you're on a call with. Minimize your tabs and only keep one window open. Again, minimizing distractions. Make sure you are recording the call. And always ask permission as well. Say, hey, would you mind if I record this? I don't want to forget anything from our conversation. And 99% of the time, they say, yeah, totally fine, cool. And you just move on and you go with that. And remember to breathe deeply, smile, and join the call exactly when the clock hits the minute. Be punctual, be on time. And enjoy the process. It's fun. Remember, this is not work, it's fun. The setup is simple. You start with energy and you put the guest at ease. You can have any sort of conversation starter you like. You can use whatever you need and whatever may be something you've been talking about in the DMs already. And you just talk to them. You be a friend. How's your week going? Where are you calling in from? You be nice. There's no template for this. Just do what you need to do. But this question has worked really well for me. It's worked really well for Kirby. If you don't know what to say, you can steal it and just get the conversation rolling. Then, this is key here. You need to take lead and set the context of the call. Because oftentimes these chit chats can go on forever if you unlock something they're really interested in talking about, like a book or a podcast or a topic. But you are here for a reason. So you need to take the lead and say, hey, great. Well, if it's cool with you, my goal at the moment is to just discover people's goals and constraints to see how many people I can help for free before the end of the month. If it's cool with you, I'd love to run you through a string of questions I have for you about your life, your goals, and things like that. It should be fun. Smile, be happy, be positive. You don't need to read this word for word. You just need to take the lead and set the context. This is something that works, so feel free to steal it. And again, this will all be provided to you in a Discovery Flow cheat sheet at the end. Now, this can be used in any conversation you have, like I mentioned before, but it is most powerful on calls. And Kirby has used the following flow 3 times in his online career. And all 3 times he created a 100K a month business as a result. That is how powerful this discovery flow framework is. And this information is powerful, but only if you take it seriously and repeat it over and over and over again. I did 50 plus calls with Synthesizer, just as a reminder. You can't expect to do one and have that breakthrough moment. Maybe you do, and that's entirely possible. And I bet it will happen for a lot of you. But if you really want results and you truly convicted in the Synthesizer mission and you want to change lives and unlock freedom, traveling the world, doing whatever you want with your time and getting paid for it, you need to take it seriously. The CDP Discovery Flow Framework. First, here are some principles of all calls. You don't want to be a robot. If you confuse them, you lose them. You want to follow up on pains and desires. Dig deep. Don't just take their first little answer at face value. Dig deeper. If they bring something up, connect to it. Connect to their responses. Show you're listening. Be an active listener. Use the flow as a checkpoint system like a video game. You can hang around in each point and talk and discuss before moving on to the next. And the more calls you get on, the more confidence you will build. Remember what you are looking for, understand it, and roll with the flow of the call. Remember, this is a flow, not a script. And you are capable of transforming their life for the better. Own it. Have confidence in that fact. Don't rush and follow up until you get what you need. Do not skip ahead. The 3 pillars of discovery flows: current, desired, and problems. Starting with, first reiterating the 3 things you need to discover: the current situation, problems, and desired. Starting with the current. Ask them about their day. Talk to them about their business, relationships, health, and life. Listen and see what they bring up without you prompting. Oftentimes it takes one little comment. Say, hey, what are you working on at the moment? They say, I created this new offer, or I've been working on growing on YouTube and trying to create a video a week. And they just naturally get into their current, their desired, and their problems without you having to bring up much. And sometimes you need to dig deeper, you need to prompt more, but listen and see what they bring up organically. Don't force the conversation. Remember, you're an active listener. Step 2, their desired. Ask them about what they wished their day would look like. What do you wish that project was like? Where do you wish your YouTube channel was at? Listen, and when you hear them say what they want, summarize it back to them to show them you are listening and to confirm. So if someone says, I'm really working to make 30K so that I can quit my job and go full-time online, and I want to get this appointment flow set up and XYZ, you can say, oh, cool. So it sounds like making 30K and getting full-time online is really important for you. Like, can you tell me more about that? Why 30K specifically? So you're confirming, you're listening, and you're following up with an active question. Step 3, problems. You need to evaluate problems and roadblocks holding them back. Because people love to talk about their problems. They always have something or someone to blame for not being where they are. That is another piece of the human condition. We like to have excuses, and that is okay. This is good. Listen for them. When you hear them mention one, probe deeper and see what comes up. If they mention, I just don't have the time, I'm too busy working my day job, or I'm struggling with these DMs or scripting or editing the thumbnails, just takes so much time, whatever it may be. When they mention it, probe deeper and see what comes up. Little bonus, again, dig deeper. If you're panning for gold, you never find gold in that first scoop. You find it in the following scoops. You keep panning, you keep scooping until you find that little speck of gold, and then you maybe notice, maybe there's a vein here, and you keep going in that spot until more gold appears, and that is the process of discovery. You need to be a gold panner, if that is the correct term. Ask them for more details and information on each of these 3 steps. And once you have what you need, wrap up the call. It's that simple. You don't want to waste their time. Time is valuable. Time is money. And you don't want to keep them for too long. You can say something like, got it. I think seems like you're really looking to make that 30K a month, and it's frustrating that you just don't have the time with your job. I have some ideas for you that I think would really help, but I want to organize them a bit more before I share them with you. Is it cool if I reach out in a couple days on Skool or Twitter or Instagram to share some free solutions? I'd love to help you with this, but I think I just need some time to think about it. And they'll always say, yeah, for sure. That sounds awesome. And then you just say, oh, great. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time today. I don't want to hold you too long. And let's talk on Wednesday. Cool. Thanks. Bye-bye. End the call. That's simple. Wrap it up. You see, the solution is the only thing you need to provide. It is that bridge between their current, over their problems, and towards their desired. But for most of us, it is impossible to find that bridge and to build that bridge on a quick discovery call. You need a little time to make it good and to evaluate it and see how you can even help best build it, what your skills are. And that is why you go away. And in the next phase, we'll cover it, how to build that solution, how to find that solution, and then how to come back to them and present it to them and get them a result. Following this flow and discovering people's current, desired, and problems holding them back is crucial for unlocking freedom. If you're serious about this, please do as many discovery calls as you can, and you can thank me and Kirby later. Follow the action item below. Keep taking action and keep working towards your goal. You're getting closer. See you in the next module.